I need to get this off my chest because I'm losing my mind. Throwaway account for obvious reasons. I've been with my wife Jessica for 8 years, married for 5. We have a 3-year-old daughter named Emma. I thought we had a solid marriage. Not perfect, but good. We had our routines, our inside jokes, our plans for the future. I genuinely believed she was my person. About 4 months ago, things started feeling off. Nothing I could put my finger on at first, just this weird energy between us. Jessica started working late more often. She got a new job at a marketing firm about 6 months ago, so I figured it was just the new position demanding more of her time. She'd come home around 9 or 10 p.m. instead of her usual 6, apologizing and saying there was a big project with tight deadlines. Then came the phone thing. She'd always been pretty casual about her phone, left it on the counter, didn't care if I used it to check the weather or whatever. But suddenly it was glued to her hand. She started taking it to the bathroom, keeping it face down on the table, and I noticed she changed her passcode. When I asked about it one night, she got super defensive and said something like, "Why do you need to know my passcode? Don't you trust me?" Classic deflection move that I was too stupid to recognize at the time. The sex basically stopped. We went from maybe 2 to 3 times a week to once every 2 weeks if I was lucky. And when we did have sex, she seemed distant. Like her body was there, but her mind was somewhere else. I tried talking to her about it, asking if everything was okay, if she was stressed. She'd just brush it off and say she was tired from work. So about 3 months ago, I decided to surprise Jessica with a weekend getaway. I thought maybe we just needed to reconnect, get away from the stress of work and parenting, remember why we fell in love in the first place. I found this nice bed and breakfast about 2 hours away, booked it for her birthday weekend, and arranged for my mom to watch Emma. When I told her about it, expecting her to be excited, she completely freaked out. And I don't mean like, "Oh, honey, I wish you'd asked first," freaked out. I mean, she got genuinely angry. She said I was being controlling and not respecting her schedule, and that she had important work commitments that weekend. On her birthday weekend, she said I should have consulted her first before making plans. I was stunned. In all our years together, she'd never reacted like that to a romantic gesture. I apologized and canceled the reservation, but the whole thing left me feeling like shit. She didn't even seem to care that she'd hurt my feelings. No apology, no "thank you for thinking of me anyway." Nothing. Then 2 weeks later, she suddenly announced she was going on a girls' trip with her coworker Melissa that same weekend I'd tried to book. Said they needed to decompress from work stress. She was gone for 3 days. Barely texted me. When I tried to FaceTime to let Emma say goodnight, she'd answer but always seemed rushed, like she was hiding the phone or moving to another room. Looking back now, I feel like such an idiot. The signs were literally screaming at me, but I kept making excuses for her. She's stressed. New job pressure. We've been together so long, maybe this is just a rough patch. I trusted her completely. That was my biggest mistake. 2 weeks ago, my entire world fell apart. It was a Saturday morning. Jessica had gone to yoga class, another new hobby she'd suddenly picked up about a month prior. She'd be gone for 2 hours every Saturday morning. Emma was at my mom's for a sleepover, so I had the house to myself. I was doing laundry and grabbed Jessica's gym bag from the closet to wash her workout clothes. When I unzipped it, I found her yoga pants and sports bra, which was normal. But there was also this lacy black lingerie set I'd never seen before. Tags still on it, from Victoria's Secret. I stood there holding it, confused as hell. We hadn't had sex in 3 weeks at that point. Why would she buy sexy lingerie and hide it in her gym bag? My hands started shaking. I knew. Deep down, I knew. But I didn't want to believe it. I went to our bedroom and opened her laptop. She'd left it on the nightstand, which she never did anymore. I know snooping is wrong, and normally I would never do this, but something in my gut told me I needed to look. It was unlocked. I opened her messages app. The first conversation thread that caught my eye was with someone named Brad Work. The preview showed, "Can't wait to see you tonight." I've been thinking about Thursday all week. My stomach dropped. I clicked on the thread. What I read next made me want to vomit. Months of messages, explicit messages, photos, videos, plans to meet at hotels, discussions about me, about how I was clueless and boring in bed, how she was falling for him, and didn't know how much longer she could keep up the charade. There were messages from the weekend of her girls' trip. She'd been with him the entire time. I sat on the edge of our bed reading through everything, crying so hard I could barely breathe. 8 years together, 5 years of marriage, a child, and she threw it all away for some douchebag named Brad from her office. I don't know how long I sat there. Could have been 20 minutes, could have been 2 hours. Time just stopped meaning anything. I was in complete shock, but also this weird hyper-focused state. Some part of my brain kicked into survival mode and told me I needed to document everything. I grabbed my phone and started taking photos of the messages, screenshots of the conversations, the photos she'd sent him, the hotel receipts he'd sent her showing where they'd met. There were so many. The Hilton downtown, some boutique place I'd never heard of. Even a message from 3 weeks ago where she told him she loved him. She fucking told this guy she loved him. The most gut-wrenching part? There was a message from the night I'd tried to surprise her with the birthday weekend. She texted Brad, "LOL, my husband just tried to book a romantic getaway for my birthday. Had to shut that down quick. Can't wait to spend it with you instead, baby." His response was, "Poor guy has no idea. His loss is my gain." They were laughing at me. She was laughing at me with her affair partner about how clueless I was. I found messages from mornings after we'd had sex, the few times we did. She'd text him things like, "Had to give the husband some attention last night so he wouldn't get suspicious. Can't wait to see you Friday. I need the real thing." I wanted to throw up. Every intimate moment I'd shared with my wife in the past few months had been a calculated move to keep me in the dark. My phone buzzed. It was Jessica. Yoga ran long, stopping for smoothies with the girls. Be home in an hour. More lies. I looked at the laptop again. Her location sharing with Brad was still on in their messages. She was at his apartment across town. I had 1 hour before she came home. 1 hour to decide what the fuck I was going to do. Do I confront her immediately? Do I wait and gather more evidence? Do I call a lawyer first? My mind was racing in 1,000 different directions. I called my brother Mike. He picked up on the second ring. "Hey man, what's up?" The second I heard his voice, I broke down completely. I couldn't even get the words out at first. He kept asking if I was okay, if Emma was okay. Finally, I managed to choke out, "Jessica's cheating on me." The silence on the other end was deafening. Then, "What? Are you sure? How do you know?" I told him everything. The messages, the photos, the lies. He was pissed. Mike has always been protective of me, and I could hear him trying to control his anger through the phone. "Do you want me to come over?" he asked. I told him no, that I needed to handle this myself, but just needed someone to know in case things went south. Mike's advice was solid. Take screenshots of everything, email them to yourself and to me as backup. Call a divorce lawyer Monday morning. Don't let her gaslight you or talk you out of what you saw with your own eyes. She made her choice. After we hung up, I forwarded all the evidence to my personal email and to Mike. Then I did something I'm not proud of. I went through her phone records on our shared account. She'd been calling Brad's number multiple times a day, every day for the past 4 months, some calls lasting over an hour. All those late nights at work made sense now. I sat on the couch and waited. My heart was pounding so hard I thought I might have a heart attack. I kept rehearsing what I was going to say, but every scenario played out differently in my head. Part of me wanted to scream at her. Part of me wanted to just hand her divorce papers and never speak to her again. Part of me, and I hate admitting this, wanted her to have some explanation that would make it all make sense. At 11:47 a.m., I heard her car pull into the driveway. She walked in with her yoga mat and a smoothie. All smiles. "Hey babe, sorry I took so long. You know how the girls get when we start talking." She kissed me on the cheek like nothing was wrong, like she hadn't just spent the morning fucking another man. I looked at her and felt absolutely nothing. No love, no anger yet, just this hollow emptiness. "How was yoga?" I asked, my voice flat. "Oh, it was great. We did this new flow that absolutely killed my hamstrings." She was still smiling, lying so effortlessly to my face. "What have you been up to?" I stood up and walked to the kitchen table where I'd left her laptop open. "Actually, Jessica, I've been doing some reading. Found some really interesting conversations on your laptop." The smile disappeared from her face instantly. The color drained. "What are you talking about?" But her voice was shaky. She knew she was caught. "Who the fuck is Brad?" I asked, my voice louder than I intended. She set down her smoothie and I watched her brain working overtime to come up with a lie. "Brad, he's just a coworker. Why are you going through my laptop? That's a huge invasion of privacy." And there it was, the deflection. Make me the bad guy for discovering her affair instead of owning up to it. Invasion of privacy? I laughed, but it came out harsh and bitter. That's rich coming from someone who's been fucking her coworker for 4 months. Should we talk about invasion of our marriage vows, or invasion of our bedroom when you let him into what was supposed to be ours? I don't know what you think you saw, but don't. I cut her off. Don't you fucking dare lie to me right now. I read everything, Jessica. Every message, every photo, every disgusting detail about your hotel meetups and how clueless I am. I know about the girls' trip that wasn't a girls' trip. I know about Thursday nights. I know everything. Her face went from denial to panic to something else. Anger. She actually had the audacity to look angry at me. "You had no right to go through my things," she shouted. Like that was the issue here. Like I was the one who'd done something wrong. "Are you fucking serious right now?" I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "I had no right? You're worried about your privacy while you've been sleeping with another man behind my back for months." She crossed her arms defensively. It's not what you think. Brad and I are just friends. Those messages were taken out of context. I laughed again, but it felt like I was going insane. Out of context? Out of context? You told him you loved him. You sent him naked pictures. You told him our sex life was you, giving me attention so I wouldn't get suspicious. What fucking context makes that okay? You're twisting things, she said, her voice getting higher. Those messages, we were just joking around. It's flirty banter. Everyone does it at work. The gaslighting was unreal. She was standing there, caught red-handed and still trying to convince me I was misunderstanding what I'd seen with my own eyes. So the hotel receipts were just jokes too? The girls' trip where you spent 3 days with him was just banter? I pulled out my phone and showed her the screenshots. Explain this one. I can't wait to feel you inside me again. Thursday can't come soon enough. That's just friendly coworker chat? She looked at the screen and then looked away, clearly scrambling. Okay, fine, Brad and I got close, maybe too close, but we never actually had sex. It was just emotional support. You've been so distant lately, and he was there for me. I literally could not believe the words coming out of her mouth. You're blaming me? And you're still lying. There are literally messages where you describe in detail what you did with him. You sent him a video, Jessica. A video. Her face went pale again. She'd forgotten about that one. She sat down on the couch, and for the first time she looked defeated. I thought maybe finally she was going to tell me the truth. I was wrong. Okay, she said quietly, tears starting to form in her eyes. Crocodile tears. Maybe we did have sex. Once. It was a mistake. I was drunk after a work event, and it just happened. I've felt terrible about it ever since. Once? I was yelling now. I couldn't help it. Once? Jessica, the messages go back 4 months. There are hotel receipts from at least a dozen different nights. You told him you loved him 2 weeks ago. Stop fucking lying to me. Fine, she screamed back, standing up. Fine. Yes, we've been sleeping together. Are you happy now? Is that what you wanted to hear? Happy? Happy. I thought my head was going to explode. No, I'm not fucking happy. I wanted my wife to not be a cheating liar. I wanted the mother of my daughter to have some basic respect for our family. Don't bring Emma into this, she snapped. She's already in this. She has a mother who's been too busy fucking Brad to even put her to bed half the time. You think she doesn't notice when you're not here? When you're working late or at yoga? The tears were streaming down her face now, but I felt nothing. No sympathy, no urge to comfort her like I normally would. I didn't mean for this to happen, she sobbed. It developed over time. Brad understands me in ways you don't. There it was. She was actually trying to justify it. Brad understands you? We've been together for 8 years. We have a child together. We built a life together. And you threw it all away for some guy you've known for 6 months? You don't get it, she said, wiping her eyes. You don't know what it's like to feel invisible in your own marriage. When was the last time you really looked at me? Really saw me? I couldn't believe she was trying to turn this around on me. Are you seriously trying to blame me for your affair? I asked, my voice dangerously quiet now. I'm the one who tried to plan a romantic getaway for your birthday that you shot down so you could spend it with Brad instead. I'm the one who's been trying to initiate sex while you pushed me away because you were too busy fucking someone else. Don't you dare make me the villain here. She shook her head. That's not fair. You've been checked out for over a year, always working, always tired, never wanting to do anything spontaneous anymore. We became roommates who happened to have a kid together. So instead of talking to me about it, instead of suggesting marriage counseling, instead of doing literally anything to work on our marriage, you decided to fuck your coworker? That was your solution? I tried to talk to you, she insisted. You never listened. Bullshit. Complete bullshit. You know what you did instead of trying? You lied. Every single day. You looked me in the eyes and lied. You kissed me goodnight and lied. You had sex with me to keep me from getting suspicious. Your words. And that's the most disgusting thing of all. She was crying harder now. I'm sorry, okay? I'm so sorry. It was a huge mistake. But we can work through this. People get past affairs all the time. We can go to counseling. We can... Work through this? I cut her off, incredulous. You're not even taking responsibility. 5 minutes ago you were lying to my face saying it was just banter. Then it was just once. Now it's my fault for not paying enough attention to you. You're only sorry you got caught. That's not true, she protested. I was going to end it with Brad. I swear, I was planning to... More lies, I shouted. I read the messages from 2 days ago where you were planning to meet him on Tuesday night. You told him you loved him on Wednesday. When exactly were you planning to end it? Before or after you destroyed our family completely? She had no answer for that. We stood there in silence for what felt like forever. She was crying. I was shaking with rage and heartbreak, and our entire life together was crumbling around us. "Do you love him?" I finally asked. I don't know why I needed to know, but I did. She hesitated. That hesitation told me everything, but she still tried to soften it. I, I don't know. I care about him, but I love you. I love our family. You hesitated, I said, feeling my chest tighten. You actually had to think about it. Jesus Christ, Jessica. It's complicated, she said weakly. No, it's really not. Either you love your husband and want to save your marriage, or you love Brad and want to blow up our family. Which is it? I want to save our marriage, she said quickly, too quickly, like she was saying what she thought I wanted to hear. We can get through this. I'll stop seeing Brad. I'll quit my job if I have to. We can start fresh. Start fresh? I laughed bitterly. How am I supposed to trust anything you say ever again? How do I know you're at work and not with him? How do I know when you take Emma to the park you're not meeting him somewhere? How do I sleep next to you at night knowing where you've been? I'll do whatever it takes, she pleaded. I'll give you my phone password, my laptop password, everything, complete transparency. You think that fixes this? You think me having to track your every move like a prison warden is a healthy marriage? That's not trust, that's surveillance. She reached for my hand, but I pulled away. Don't touch me, I said. I can't even look at you right now. Then my phone rang. It was my mom calling, probably to check when I'd be picking up Emma. Reality crashed back in. We had a daughter, a 3-year-old who loved both of us and had no idea her world was about to be turned upside down. I need you to leave, I said quietly. What? This is my house too. I don't care. Get out. Go to Brad's since you love spending time there so much. I'll pick up Emma alone and figure out what the hell I'm going to tell her. I'm not leaving, Jessica said, suddenly defiant again. The tears stopped like someone flipped a switch. You can't just kick me out of my own house. I have rights. Rights? I was beyond done. You want to talk about rights after what you've done? I made a mistake, but that doesn't mean you get to throw me out on the street. We need to talk about this like adults. We are talking, and all you've done is lie and make excuses. I can't be in the same room with you right now. I'm asking you to leave so I can think. She crossed her arms. No, if you want space, you leave. Emma is going to need her mother when she gets home. The audacity was unbelievable. Her mother who's been too busy having an affair to be present? That mother? Stop throwing that in my face. I get it. I fucked up. But I'm still her mother and she needs me. Before I could respond, my phone rang again. My mom. I answered. Hey Mom, sorry, I'll be there soon to get Emma. Honey, is everything okay? She asked, concern in her voice. Jessica just texted me saying there's a family emergency and that Emma should stay here tonight. What's going on? I looked at Jessica in disbelief. She'd already texted my mom. When did you text my mother? I asked her. She didn't answer, just looked away. Mom, I'll explain later. Can Emma stay there tonight? Jessica's right, it would be better. I hung up. You texted my mom during our fight? I asked Jessica. When? When you were looking at your phone earlier, she admitted. I knew this was going to get ugly, and Emma didn't need to be here for it. At least she got one thing right. Fine, she stays there tonight, but you still need to leave. I told you I'm not leaving. But actually... She paused, and I could see something shift in her expression. Something calculating. There's something else you should know. I'm pregnant. The room started spinning. What? I'm pregnant, about 6 weeks. I felt like I'd been punched in the stomach. Pregnant, I repeated, my voice hollow. Yes, she said, and I watched her face carefully. She was trying to read my reaction, gauge how to play this. The question came out before I could stop it. Is it mine? Her face twisted in anger. How dare you ask me that? Of course it's yours. How dare I? I was shouting again. You've been fucking another man for 4 months and you're offended that I'm asking if the baby is mine? Are you insane? We haven't had sex in 6 weeks, she said. I'm 6 weeks pregnant. Do the math. But I was doing different math. We had sex 6 weeks ago, yeah, but you also had sex with Brad 6 weeks ago. I read the messages, Jessica. You were with him that same week. Her face went pale again. She'd forgotten I knew the timeline. I need a paternity test, I said firmly. No, absolutely not. I'm not subjecting our baby to a paternity test because you're paranoid. Paranoid? Paranoid? You've given me every reason not to trust a single word out of your mouth. If it's mine, the test will prove it. If you're refusing, that tells me everything I need to know. She started crying again. This is so cruel. I'm carrying your child and you're treating me like a criminal. You are a criminal. You committed adultery. In some states, that's literally still a crime. I was pacing now, running my hands through my hair. When did you find out? 3 days ago, she admitted quietly. 3 days. She'd known for 3 days and didn't tell me. 3 days of lying to my face while knowing she was pregnant and possibly not even sure who the father was. Does Brad know? I asked. She didn't answer right away. That was answer enough. Oh my God, you told Brad before you told your own husband. I had to talk to someone, she said defensively. I was scared and confused and I knew you'd been distant lately. Stop blaming me for your choices, I roared. You told your affair partner about your pregnancy before your husband. Do you understand how fucked up that is? He was supportive. He didn't judge me, she yelled back. Supportive? What did he say, Jessica? Did he offer to be there for you? Did he say he'd help raise the baby? Is that what you want, to play house with Brad? She was quiet, which scared me more than anything she could have said. Oh my God, I said slowly, realization dawning. You're not even sure you want to be with me anymore, are you? This whole, let's save our marriage thing is bullshit. You're just scared of being a single mom or looking bad to our families. That's not true. Then tell me right now that you'll cut off all contact with Brad. Block his number, block his social media, quit your job, never speak to him again. Tell me you'll do that. She opened her mouth, then closed it. The silence was deafening. You can't even say it, I said, feeling something break inside me. You literally cannot promise me you'll stop seeing the man you've been cheating on me with. It's not that simple, she whispered. We work together. I can't just... Yes, you can, I screamed. If you actually wanted to save this marriage, you would do anything. But you won't because you don't want to. You want to keep your options open. You want me as the stable backup plan while you figure out if Brad is serious about you. Tears were streaming down her face. I'm confused, okay? I don't know what I want. I thought I wanted to fix things with you, but then I found out about the baby and everything got more complicated. Get out, I said, my voice cold and flat. What? Get out of my house. It's our house. I don't care. Leave right now or I'm calling the police and telling them I need you removed for my safety. Jessica stared at me like she didn't recognize me. Maybe she didn't. I didn't recognize myself either. The man I was this morning, the trusting husband, the guy who believed in his marriage, that person was gone. You're being irrational, she tried one more time. We need to think about Emma, about this baby. We can't make permanent decisions when emotions are running this high. You made permanent decisions when you fucked Brad, I said coldly. You made permanent decisions every time you lied to my face. You made permanent decisions when you told him you loved him. Don't lecture me about thinking things through. She grabbed her purse and her keys, her hands shaking. Fine, I'll leave. But we're going to have to talk about this eventually. We have a child together. 2, apparently. My lawyer will be in touch, I said. Any communication goes through them from now on. Lawyer? Her eyes widened. You're really going to divorce me over this? You're not even going to try counseling? I laughed, but there was no humor in it. You cheated on me for 4 months, lied about everything, potentially got pregnant by another man, told your affair partner before telling me, and you can't even promise to stop seeing him. What exactly is there to counsel? I need time to think. You don't get time. You had 4 months to think while you were sneaking around. I'm done being the understanding husband. I'm done being the idiot who believes your lies. She walked toward the door, then turned back. For what it's worth, I really am sorry. I never wanted to hurt you. But you did hurt me, I said. You destroyed me. And the worst part? I don't think you ever really cared enough to stop yourself. You were just sorry you got caught. She didn't deny it. She just opened the door and left. I stood there in the empty house, in the silence, and finally let myself break down completely. I slid down the wall and sat on the floor, sobbing like I hadn't cried since I was a kid. 8 years, 5 years of marriage, a daughter, possibly another baby on the way. All of it gone in one morning. That was 2 weeks ago. I'm writing this now from my brother's house where I've been staying while we figure out the living situation. Emma is confused and keeps asking why mommy and daddy aren't together. I don't know what to tell her. How do you explain adult betrayal to a 3-year-old? I met with a divorce lawyer on Monday, filed papers on Wednesday. Jessica has been blowing up my phone, sometimes apologizing, sometimes angry, sometimes begging for another chance. I've stopped responding. My lawyer told me to only communicate through him, and I'm sticking to that. The paternity test is scheduled for after the first trimester. Jessica finally agreed after her lawyer told her I could petition the court for it anyway. Part of me hopes the baby is mine because I don't want some innocent kid to be the product of an affair. Part of me hopes it's not because then I can make a clean break. I told our families everything. My parents were devastated but supportive. Her parents actually tried to tell me I was being too harsh and that affairs happen, and I should think about forgiveness. I haven't spoken to them since. Our friends have been split, some understanding, some thinking I'm moving too fast, some taking her side saying I drove her to it by being emotionally unavailable. I've cut out anyone who defends what she did. The hardest part isn't even the betrayal anymore, it's knowing that the woman I loved never actually existed. The Jessica I married wouldn't have done this, but maybe I never really knew her at all. Maybe people are just better at hiding who they really are than I thought. I've started therapy. My therapist says I'm grieving not just the marriage, but the future I thought I had. She's right. I'm grieving everything. The family dinners we'll never have, the anniversaries we won't celebrate, the life we built that turned out to be built on lies. I don't know what the future holds. Maybe the baby is mine and I'll be co-parenting with a woman I can't stand to look at. Maybe it's not and I'll just have Emma to worry about. Either way, I know I deserve better than someone who could lie to my face every day for months. If you made it this far, thanks for reading. I needed to get this all out. Some days I'm okay, some days I can't get out of bed. But I'm surviving, and that's enough for now. Found out wife was cheating for 4 months through messages on her laptop. She lied repeatedly when confronted, tried to gaslight me, blame me for her affair, and dropped a pregnancy bomb that might not even be mine. Filed for divorce, taking it one day at a time. Edit, to everyone asking, yes, I'm going to be okay. To everyone defending her, save it. And to everyone sharing their own stories, I'm sorry you're in this club too. We'll get through it.